Hey everyone, it is Crystal with Pineapple Papers, and it is September 5th. And so it is Thursday, so that means it's time for a Color Rush Studio design team project. But it's September, and I am playing along with scrap timber. So the scrap timber prompt is fussy cutting, which works out really good because these kits always have some awesome papers that you can fussy cut. So, my cheaty fussy cut, if you can say that, is there's a cut apart sheet. I mean, you have to cut it apart. So, I was thinking I would use some of the attacks. So that's kind of where I started, but I didn't actually use them on this layout. So maybe I didn't cheat too bad. But what I did was I took this super fun frame paper and I basically tore it in half and I fussy cut out a ton of these frames. So I know I'm not going to use all of them, but I am going to use some of them. So I went ahead, fussy cut those out, and then now I'm going to fussy cut, or if you're like my friend Erica, fussy blade some of these frames over on the other side. And I'm actually going to turn these frames into shaker pockets just to add a little bit more oomph to it. So I love me a good frame paper. There's so many things that you can do with them. So you can fussy cut them, and then frames make great shaker pockets. And you can decorate each individual one with all kinds of embellishments, that type of thing. So I do plan on doing that as well. So since I have fussy bladed these frames out, I decided to do 3. And then I'm going to take actually some of the packaging that came in the kit, and I'm going to use that packaging as my shaker pocket, my acetate piece. Definitely use what you got, right? So you don't have to go buy expensive acetate. You can always just use packaging. So it works just as well. I do worry, I wouldn't use one that had stickers on it because you can tend to see the outline of what the sticker was, but these packages that have your embellishments or ephemera or something like that in it, it totally works. So I put the packaging down, I added some foam tape around them, filled them with sequins, and then I'm going to back it in another one of the papers from the kit. It has that same color as the background of the frame paper, but it has some white arrows on it, and I just had a strip of it, and so you saw I put it on the back and I just ripped it apart. I didn't do anything that was technical. This is not technical. But because this part of the page is going to be popped up because of the shaker pockets, I did go ahead and put a couple pieces of fun foam around kind of more or less the edges. And so that way it didn't fall on the edges. I thought it would be weird if it fell on the edges. The rest, I don't think it's really going to fall because of where the shaker pockets are anyway. So now that I have that all popped up, I'm going to put that to the left-hand side. I did just bring in a piece of black cardstock for the other side of this. Now I am documenting a picture of our dog, and my son loves to go camping, absolutely loves to go camping. And so sometimes he takes her camping, and so he's got a whole setup in the back of his truck. He's got a set of drawers that have everything you can need. He loves to camp. So this was a picture that he had posted on social media, and it says GN y'all, which I'm going to go with means good night. And it's just a picture of her snuggled up in the back, and he has covered her up with his jacket, which I just think is so super sweet and cute. She is crazy spoiled. She is definitely the third child, the baby, kind of like, yeah, gets away with everything. But we love her. And so I decided to grab one of the actual frames from the ephemera pack, and it fit perfectly over her little face. So that just is going to bring your eye in to the main focus of the picture, which is her. And I decided not to do a title. I'm not really sure how I feel about that. But because he had put it on the picture, I felt like that was good. And then I am going to add a couple of wordy bits. So I could actually, now that I'm looking at the layout and it's done, I put that chipboard piece, which actually is kind of like a key. Not that they were staying at a hotel or anything, but it says, "I'm here for the good times." And honestly, maybe that's my title. Like, that really makes the most sense. She loves to go camping with him as well. So I'm just going to kind of do a little extra embellishing to this. I'm going to call it the title cluster. So I added some of that houndstooth frazzle into that chipboard piece. I added one of the shaker stars, or I added the one that is in yellow. And then I added a little leather heart on top of one of those frames down there at the bottom. Now, I did decide to decorate some of the other frames as well on both sides. So I've got a couple chipboard hearts. I have another leather heart, and then I have two of the leather smiley faces. And then I'm going to do a little bit of fussy cutting, and I'm going to cut out that word that says you, and I'm going to put that in one of the frames. And then I'm also going to take this one that says beautiful, and I'm going to fussy cut that out and put that in one of the frames. You can see I'm going to try every frame. And I'm going to move that U down, and I'm actually going to go ahead and add the B, which is what it's intended to say on the pattern paper anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that out, put that there. I did contemplate another one of the shaker stars. I contemplated using a label here, and ultimately that's going to come off. But here's where I cut out that B. So I also used a big floral from the die cut pack, and it just kind of fit into that space that is just kind of the roof of the back of his truck, and that is going to do it. So there is my layout. I hope you enjoyed this. I will have all the information for the shop so you can get your hands on this kit and all the other goodies that she has. And you can use my code Crystal10 to save you 10% in the shop. I will also have the playlist for Scrap Timber linked down below. So remember to wear your friends.